What do I need to know for state preschool registration? In this presentation, we will review what state preschool is, what the requirements are for state preschool, and how to obtain an appointment for state preschool registration. What is state preschool? State preschool is an income-eligible program which prepares children for kindergarten success and beyond. It is a part-time program that is 3 hours a day, 5 days a week, Monday through Friday. There is morning or afternoon sessions available. Eligibility criteria. State preschool eligibility is determined by income and family size. The child must be 3 or 4 years old on or before September 1st. All income eligible 4-year-olds will be enrolled before 3-year-olds. Families must provide verification for any of the following as applicable. The family is income eligible. The family is receiving cash aid. The family is homeless. The child is in Child Protective Services or at risk of abuse, neglect, and/or exploitation. What is income? Income refers to the total countable income of individuals included in the family. When we say family, we are strictly speaking about mom, dad, and children under 18 years of age. To qualify for state preschool, parents must provide their gross wages or salaries, any overtime, any tips, any cash aid, child support payment received, any student grants or scholarships that are not used for tuition, books, or supplies, or workers' compensation. Income documentation. Income documentation is for the month preceding certification. 4 consecutive weeks for each working parent in the family. If employed, you will need to complete an employer verification form and provide the preceding month's 4 weeks of payroll check stubs. What this means is that for each working parent in the family, he or she will need to provide income for the month prior to his or her registration appointment. For example, if a parent gets paid on a weekly basis, this parent will need to provide the last 4 check stubs received prior to the registration appointment. If a parent gets paid 2 times a month or every 2 weeks, then this parent will only need to provide the last 2 check stubs received prior to the registration appointment. If a parent is self-employed, this parent will still need to establish income for at least the month preceding initial certification. They will also need to provide a copy of the most recently signed and completed tax return, as well as a copy of the most recently signed and completed quarterly report or a current monthly income and expense statement. For self-employed parents, please note that you will need to bring your income tax and a copy of the most recently signed quarterly report or a current monthly income and expense statement. Family size. You must provide supporting documentation regarding the number of children and parents in the family. Family size is restricted to parents and their children under 18 years of age. You will need to provide at least one of the following for each child in the family: birth certificate, passport, court orders regarding child custody, adoption documents, records of foster care placements, county welfare department records, or other reliable documentation indicating the relationship of the child to the parent. Single parents. When there is only one parent in the family, the presence or absence of the other parent shall be documented by providing any one of the documents below: records of marriage, divorce, domestic partnership or legal separation, court-ordered child custody arrangements, evidence of child support received, rental receipts, contracts, or utility bills, notice of action from the county indicating the parent receives cash aid and or food stamps, or any other documentation confirming the presence or absence of a parent of a child in the family. Admission priorities. State preschool enrollment priority is as follows: children who are in Child Protective Services, children who are at risk, children who are homeless, and children who qualify based on the family income. If you have a child who is in Child Protective Services, you will need to provide a statement from the local county welfare department indicating the child is receiving Child Protective Services. It will need to include the probable duration of the Child Protective Service Plan, as well as the name, address, phone number, and signature of the county child welfare staff. If you have a child who is at risk, you will need to provide a statement by a legally qualified professional indicating the child is at risk. It will also need to include the probable duration of the at-risk situation, as well as the name, address, phone number, and signature of the legally qualified professional. If you have a family who is homeless, the family may provide a written referral from an emergency shelter indicating the family is homeless. The family may also provide a written declaration that states and describes the family's living situation. If a child qualifies based on the family income, all eligible 4-year-olds will be enrolled before all eligible 3-year-olds. Immunization requirements. Below is the list of vaccines that each preschooler will need to have completed for registration. Each child will also need to have a physical form turned in before school starts. If you look at the chart below, on the left-hand side, there is the list of vaccines that are required for state preschool enrollment. On the right-hand side are the required doses for each vaccine. Please make the time to compare this chart to your child's immunization records. If there are any vaccines missing or required doses, please let the doctor know so he or she can complete the immunizations for the child. Parents are asked to volunteer 2 times per month in the child's classroom. Therefore, a current TB test is required from each volunteer. If a parent allows anybody older than 18 to volunteer, this other person can volunteer. However, they will also need to have a current TB test on record. Family fees. Effective July 1st, 2012, families enrolled in Part A California State Preschool Program will be subject to a sliding scale family fee based on income and family size. Family fees vary from $0 to $8.88 per day. Families whose eligibility is based on children receiving Child Protective Services or children at risk will be exempt from paying the family fee. Additionally, families receiving CalWORKS cash aid are also exempt from paying the family fees. The family fee is assessed at the time of certification and remains effective for the remainder of the program year as long as the child remains enrolled in the program. Families may request a reduction to their family fee when there are changes to the family income, family size, or other factors affecting the assessment of the family fee. A reasonable payment plan will be accepted, and parents must comply with the payment plan for continued services. If the payment plan is not honored, the family will be terminated from the program. Families are ineligible to attend the preschool program until all delinquent fees are paid. How do I make a registration appointment? Now that you have reviewed the requirements for state preschool, you are ready to do the following. Please print and complete the state preschool application. Once completed, you may call Land School to get a preliminary eligibility screening and schedule an appointment if qualified. Our phone number is 714-898-8389. Once you have your appointment for registration, you may print the registration packet. We would like to thank you for your interest in our state preschool program, and we look forward to registering your child for our program.